Where are the most dangerous places for Americans to travel? Somalia. Venezuela. As soon as you leave the airport you can be intercepted by criminals and even corrupt police to rob you or worse. U.S. State Department makes a list of such places. There are currently 19 countries which the U.S. government advises you don't travel. They are Belarus, Burkina Faso, Central African Republic, Russia, Burma, Myanmar, Libya, North Korea, South Sudan, Sudan, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Ukraine, Haiti, Somalia, Iraq, Venezuela, Mali, Iran. Edit. Added an R. I have a very American answer for you. Depends on what you do for a living. What's a fetish that you can never understand? Bug chasers. I personally find prolapse very gross and uncomfy. Edit. I meant uncomfy to look like. I cannot speak on what it actually feels like. Eyeball licking. Anything getting shoved up the urethra. I thought before, oh well, it probably feels good to people, etc., etc. Then I started intermittent cathing and no fucking thanks lol. Shoving things in your pee hole. I'm dreading having to get a catheter at some point in my life. And here people are getting their rocks off with it. Edit. These replies don't have me feeling any better about the whole catheter thing. I'm legit scared now. Vomit. The whole thing I think is sick. Crushing animals with high heels, it's just another level of animal cruelty. What would happen if everyone over 70 died tomorrow? All the 69-year-olds would get really nervous. Layoffs at retirement centers. Mass graves for millions of corpses that would be decaying in homes and streets with no capacity for coroners and cemeteries to take them fast enough. U.S. politics would be interesting. Butterscotch stocks would plummet. A large funeral and a lot of governments falling apart. No Walmart greeters. We'd have to fill most congressional seats. Japan would fucking collapse. Similar to Adolf. What is a name you will never name your child because of connotations associated with that name? I live in Norway, and here it's probably the name Vidkun, as it's heavily associated with the Nazis. Alexa. My sister and I had to convince my brother-in-law that oral wasn't a good choice for their boy. ISIS. Gaylord. Steve Kerr named his son Nick, don't know what he was thinking. Damn you Adolf Sax, inventor of the saxophone. Nimrod. I'm just here at 34 weeks pregnant scratching names off of the list. Lots of these I never even thought of the connotations. Sorry. Potential baby Saddam. That was a close one. Myra declined sharply in popularity in the UK after the Moors murders. What part of sex is the least enjoyable for you? Good cardio equals good sex. Bad cardio equals the kind of sex I have, and I don't like it. Cleaning everything up after. I don't want to go pee when I'm super comfortable. Cuddled up against my partner greater than. As a woman going to the toilet thinking you pushed out all the fluids then putting on underwear and realizing you didn't. Edit. Lol, I'm not responding to anyone's DMS. Laying in bed afterward. Not immediately after. That's great and one of my favorite parts. But the moment where it switches from, man, that was awesome, to, fuck, I'm hot and sweaty and the bed is sticky and I'm uncomfortable, is the worst. The one where I don't come. When either of the partners is not in the mood, but the other one is horny. What would you do if you couldn't have sex anymore due to a physical or mental issue? Oh wow, nothing changes. I would definitely miss it, but I'd manage. I do actually. Endometriosis. It's sometimes really sad, but you do other things with your partner. And try again to see if there's any improvement. I used to have a high sex drive, but due to the pain not anymore. My partner understands that, and his one preoccupation is my health. Same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Would have to learn to adapt. It's the kind of thing that could devastate someone, I think, if they couldn't accept it. That's kinda my life, fam. Already been there. Got better. Being able to have sex is nice, but I know I can live without it. There are other kinds of intimacy. If you could go back in time for a day to witness a historic event, which would you choose? January 13, 2007. I'll be on the patio outside my kitchen in Brussels. I will find out, once and for all, if she actually locked the door when we left for Rome as she claims. To see if that burglar chose our apartment out of all the others to use their lock-picking skills. To enter and steal all my CDs. Or she didn't, and a burglar who tries to see if doors are locked or not found ours. See the asteroid, comet that took out the dinosaurs from a safe distance. The building of the pyramids. The winged hussars charge. It was so impressive that a battle nearby stopped just to watch them charge. A tour of Library of Alexandria before it was destroyed. What's a food combo you love that people think you're weird for? So the general consensus here is peanut butter plus anything. Being British, you can divide the country with Marmite with anything. This thread has a lot of interesting combos that I want to try. Then there's the absolute maniac who puts peanut butter on tomato slices. Chili with a cinnamon roll. Y'all are wild. Party at my house, bring your weird food combos. I approve. I used to eat tuna and spicy V8 like every day my first year in college. It gave me some paint peeling gas that almost killed my roommate. 20 years later, I still get shit for that. I like making PB&J with tortillas. I spread it on then roll it up. It reminds me of those Smucker's Uncrustables but better. What's a famous product that is a complete scam? All of those weight loss teas influencers promoted a few years ago. They're just laxatives. Single-use access codes for college textbooks is pretty much racketeering. Anything that claims to target the loss of fat from a specific area of your body. Herbalife. The shakes and teas, which aren't actually teas at all. It's processed garbage that just so happens to have vitamins and protein added to it. Fake sweeteners. Artificial dyes. Yeah, no thanks. There was a product in the 80s, it was a blanket that guaranteed you could lose weight by just sitting in it. Hooters. I wore 2 padded bras to work every day. Any vehicle you have to pay extra to unlock a feature, specifically new cars. Living or dead, who do you think has been the most powerful sex symbol the world has ever seen? Living, definitely living. Helen of Troy. Stupid sexy Flanders. Rah rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that really was gone. Rah rah Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine. It was a shame how he carried on. I'm going to say whomever inspired those Paleolithic Venus figurines. Cleopatra, undoubtedly, believing herself to be a living goddess. She would use clever stagecraft to seduce or woo potential allies, or enemies, to reinforce her divine status. What about Hedy Lamarr? Her intelligence made her hotter, also she wasn't afraid of showing off. Marlon Brando in the 1950s. What show did you start and wound up hating so much you didn't finish it? Riverdale. The Flash. Designated Survivor. First season was incredible. Second season was fine. After that it was awful. It became something so different than when it began that the show was unrecognizable, so I stopped watching within a few episodes of when it became a generic Washington, D.C. based show. Once upon a time, so effing glad I stopped at season 2. Under the Dome. Arrow. Orange is the new black. Piper annoyed the fucking shit out of me. Heroes. Glee. What film made you say, holy shit, there is still 50 minutes left? The Sound of Music. They get married and I said, that was a nice ending, and my wife says, the Nazis haven't arrived. In the seminal classic Freddy Got Fingered, towards the end of the movie, there's a big crowd scene with people holding signs welcoming home the heroes. One of the signs reads, how the fuck is this movie not over yet? Asterisk. Full Metal Jacket in an excellent way. Titanic, when you put that second tape in the VCR. For horror lovers, The Wailing. Transformers Age of Extinction, that movie was so awful I never even finished it. Daft Punk's Asterisk Electroma, good fucking god, it was like a solid hour of a robot walking through the desert. What industry do you hope won't exist in 10 years? Telemarketers. MLM's pyramid schemes. Anything involving cold calling, or massive phone call farms pimping random shit. Mommy, family vloggers. They're sinister. A podcast I listened to did a 7 asterisk episode deep dive and it was horrifying. There needs to be laws to protect these exploited children, and in 10 to 20 years we're going to see a lot of these kids telling their horror stories and suing their parents. Edit to add. The podcast is called Someplace Underneath. It's episodes 56 to 62. Puppy Kitten Farms. U.S. tax prep. Unnecessary middleman with artificially maintained necessity due to lobbying bribery. What is something you find attractive that most people don't? I kinda like a prominent nose. Not like a really aquiline nose. Or a big SHNOZ. Just, I dunno, prominent. High bridge of the nose. Dominant facial feature. Hard to explain. I just find a good nose really attractive. I like women taller than me. I like girls with voices like Emma Stone. Like that, deep for a female kind of voice. Not sure why, but I really like it. I also have a thing for any girl into me. So my type gets complicated. Lol. I like a nice back. Like not the ass but the actual back. Short guys. I'm short. I don't want to feel like I'm standing around a giraffe all the time. RBF, resting bitch face.